Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 220. My name is Jason Erpelding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
There's a little gap in there. You're like, my name is...
Well, I was thinking about
Jason
220, and I don't know if you know the line, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
No, I don't think so.
That's from Mr. Mom.
Oh, okay.
So that's a classic. Sorry, we might have just lost some viewers there. But
I'm Scott Ferrioli. I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com. Remember the dash to save the cash, as well as Buy and Sell DVC.com.
And today is April 23rd, 2025. 11-month window is March 23rd, 2026. And the 7-month window is going to be your Thanksgiving week, November 23rd, 2025. We're going to go right into the buy and sell side of things. And the question for the day is, now this episode is airing 4/23/2025, and the question is, did DVC accomplish what they wanted with the resale differences? So of course, I'm just going to go through a little bit of a timeline. So DVC started in 1991 until 2011. During that time, there was no difference whether you bought direct from Disney or whether you bought resale. It was exactly the same. So there was no differences whatsoever. Then,
just price differences.
Right.
All the perks, everything was same.
And then in early 2011, they announced well in advance that they were going to make a change on March 21st, 2011. Now, Disney have realized, I will tell you this, so Disney made a mistake then that they announced it in advance. They should not have announced it in advance, because the second they announced it, everybody put their, the number of resales went from, if we just illustrate, so the number of resales went from here, the number of resales went to here overnight. The listings just kept pouring in, and people kept buying because they were like, I need to buy before the change. So all of a sudden, now the people that didn't know about resales, because of this announcement, all sorts of people knew about resales, which I don't think Disney wanted that to happen. Like, if 50% of the people don't know that they exist, why make it known that they exist? And then the change that Disney made then was that you couldn't use points for the Concierge Collection, the Disney Collection, and the Disney Cruise Line. Well, guess what? By that point, most people already knew that using your points for a Disney cruise was not a wise choice. So everyone for 60 days sold a property, bought a property, all these people. And then March 21st came, and maybe there was a couple days where people were like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then everything just started right up again. Like nothing even happened. Like resales just kept going. They just kept going. And then you get to 2016, and that's when they made the change regarding membership extra programs. And the biggest thing then was you didn't have access to buy the annual pass. So now, of course, there's DVC members that buy an annual pass and that don't, like, if you buy an annual pass and you live in Florida, it doesn't really matter if you're a member or not a member. But if you buy an annual pass and you don't live in Florida, well, then all of a sudden you had to make a choice. Do I want to keep buying the annual pass? Do I want to pay more? So then people had to make a choice. And that's, and obviously you're not going to, you don't talk to everyone that buys, not everyone that goes to the DVC, contacts us and says, hey, people just had to make a choice then. And then basically after that, then they made a change when Riviera came out, where if you bought at Riviera, resale, the only place that you could stay was Riviera. And that just really was like the biggest monkey wrench in the whole system, because then you have people buying Riviera that don't know that this exists, and then they go to sell it and their property's selling for much less. So back to the question, it's the answer I would say is Disney really at this point has created a bunch of confusion. Now, good and bad. The good news is all this information is online, so you can understand all this within 20 minutes of research and reading. But for the most part, they've created a lot of confusion, because you have people that say, we want to buy direct to get the benefits. But then if you ask them, well, what benefit is it that you're searching for? They don't really have an answer for you. You know, I mean, you're going to have people that buy direct, that buy resale, that are renters, and of course, people that the program's not for. But my thing is, if you're buying direct, you should know why you're buying direct. I mean, that's all there is to it. So, you know, there is, you know, because I had someone ask me, they asked me last week, they go, if you buy resale, what am I able to do? And I'm like, 99% of the time, you're able to do everything that you want to do. So it's, you know, it's one of those things where, yeah, they've created a little bit of confusion. And again, it's just easy for them to say, are you looking to get all the benefits? They don't really, you know, they just say, are you looking to get all the benefits? Well, then you want to buy direct, you know, because it just sounds easier.
Absolutely.
Any comments on that at all? Or?
I mean, I think you went over it pretty well. Again, I've over the years, I'm grandfathered in, so I bought before 2011, and I bought it since then. You have to weigh everything. I mean, a lot of times when you're buying a contract through us, you know, there could be a $10,000, $15,000 savings. So if you don't get the discount on the annual passes, you have to run the numbers. It's best to delve into it a little bit and understand what you're buying, what you're going to use your contract for. Because yes, you won't get, you know, the discount on the APs, and you know that maybe that could cost your family $500 a year, $800 a year. But if you're saving $10,000, $15,000 right now, it's going to take a long time to earn back, you know, all those APs. So just figure out exactly what you could be using your contract for. And if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to Jason and ask him, and he'll walk you through all of this stuff. But I mean, I've bought all my contracts resale over the years, and I can't ever really think of a way that it makes sense to buy direct through Disney.
Because I mean, like, I'm going to throw this random question out to you. Let's say it's 15 years from now, your son is getting married, and you want to buy him 200 points for his family. Mm-hmm. Again, obviously 15 years from now, the information may change, but knowing if it was 15 years from now today, like, what would you purchase for his family?
That's a tough one. I'm trying to think, like, we had that whole value talk a couple of weeks ago. I may, time left. I mean, Copper Creek is a very good choice at that point. Maybe Animal Kingdom. A lot of my points are at Saratoga Springs. I don't stay there very often.
Polynesian?
Poly's not. I'm not a huge fan of Polynesian. It's not a bad resort. It's not a bad resort at all. The Thai, who's off camera right now, loves Polynesian. I don't know. Maybe it's got a late expiration. Poly's possibly up there. Bay Lake Tower's possibly up there. I don't like the resort as much. Location is fantastic at Bay Lake Tower, and they've got some of those great rooms. You know, watching the fireworks from your balcony is really, really nice as well. Animal Kingdom's fantastic. High, you know, later expiration, but you get the higher maintenance fees on there, but you can see the animals. So I don't know.
But the bottom line is your mind just is only going to resale choices.
Oh, yes. There's nothing direct. It's just which resale property would I pick up for him 15 years from now? I can't go for anything that's 2042. So I don't know. Maybe Copper Creek, Poly, Animal Kingdom. I don't.
But it would definitely be a resale.
Absolutely resale. Absolutely. Unless they change it. Unless somehow Disney does something to change it so that there's no value in buying resale, which they have not done yet.
I mean, to me, the only way that they could get everyone to buy direct is if you buy direct, and any park that you go to, there's a special line that only has a max of 10 people. Like, you know, something that could never happen, but if you did that, like, you could get everyone to buy direct.
Exactly. There's a fast pass line for just direct orders, and otherwise you got to wait and stand by.
Not only that, you could, if you made it to where you had to buy a 300-point minimum, that would also push people. But again, that was a made-up scenario. But now we're on to the food review of the week.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you. Get in my belly.
So for today's food review, I am back at Flower and Garden Festival. And again, this is on the same day as last week. But this time we checked out the Northern Bloom booth in the Canada Pavilion. I got the beef tenderloin tips with mushroom bordelaise sauce with potatoes and garden vegetables for $7.75. This has been a staple there for the past few years or so this is nothing brand new. We had several sweet items going up to this, so we want something a little more savory because otherwise it's just too much sweetness. I thought everything was very good. I thought that the sauce that I was in was good. Potatoes were good. The only thing that I didn't really like is that the tenderloins were over. You only got like 4 small pieces, not terrible. It's $7.75, so it's not terrible, but they were overcooked. So they're a little more chewy than a beef tenderloin probably should have been. So I wish they were more tender, but they were not bad. It's not a great deal. It's decent, and it's not something that's going to fill you up unless you order 5 of them. But I don't think I'd order it again. Decent 7.1. Taste was pretty good. Tenderness was a little tough, and again, small amount. But again, it's $7, and tenderloin's very expensive, so not the worst deal, but it was okay at best.
And now we're on to the DVC-Rental side of things.
So we teased about this last week. Just recently, I got back from Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas. This is my second time on the ship, and it's the 5th ship in the Oasis class and the 3rd largest ship in the world. They've got zip lines, water slides, flow rider surf simulator. No, I didn't go on it. Splash.
Anybody in your family?
Nobody went on the flow rider.
Okay.
I did not.
Have you ever been on it? I forget.
No, I used to go boogie boarding all the time when I was a kid, so I do enjoy that, but I've never been on a flow rider. The Splashaway Bay Aqua Park, rock climbing walls, ice skating rink, basketball/pickleball/volleyball, casino. They've got 4 pools and 10 whirlpools on board. Entertainment-wise, they have an aqua theater, they do this show, it's called Intense, which is by far the best show that on water right now. The best show I've ever seen on any of the cruise lines. Karaoke, random different shows, cover bands. This was a 7-night trip to St. Martin, St. Thomas, where we've gone to St. Thomas several times. So we took a boat over to St. John and Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island. Fantastic ship. It has a boardwalk level and a Central Park level with shops, restaurants, tons of trees and plants, and both of these are open. They're towards the back of the ships and like open to the outside. So you're walking on the deck in the Central Park, and there's trees and bushes around you, and you look up and you see the sky. You're not inside the ship. It's got outside air access. Same with that Aqua Theater. They do a big show where they're dancing and the water's shooting everywhere. And then the floors there's a pool like dancing on the pool, and then they drop out, and people are diving from 40 feet down, 50 feet, actually probably more than 50 feet up, but just into the water, and music's blasting. Fantastic show. Food was pretty good, better than Norwegian, maybe not as good as Disney on this trip. Desserts, pretty good. Norwegian has the best desserts of anybody, but the desserts on Royal Caribbean blow Disney away. Disney has the worst desserts out of any cruise I've ever been on. But overall, it's a fantastic ship, one of the bigger ships. I'm really enjoying these larger ships. We've got Symphony of the Seas booked for next year, which is similar size to Wonder of the Seas. And we're actually going to be doing that with the EPCOT group next year. That's next summer. So similar ship, got that booked for next summer. And we're actually doing another cruise in June where we're doing another Europe cruise. So smaller ship for Europe. We'll see how that's going to be. That's going to be a celebrity ship. So I'll talk about that, once we get closer. Once I get back, I'll talk about the stops in Europe, which should be a lot of fun.
And did you do the zip line?
None of us did the zip line this time. The first time we were on the ship, my youngest, Tyler, he did the zip line probably 20, 30 times. But for some reason, he did not do the zip line this time. But the zip line that goes over the ship, so it's not, I'd say maybe it runs for, it's not a huge zip line. So maybe it's 100 feet. Gotcha. But you're going to zip line, then you look down and it's it's probably a 100-foot drop or so. There's nothing underneath you. You're going overboard and there's nothing below.
And then did you do my time dining? Are you?
We did not. I'm not a huge fan of my type dining because, truthfully, I like having the same servers every day. You get to know them, they know you. You have jokes. They know what you're drinking. They like there's a lot more interaction. Where on my type dining, you just show up and whoever you get, you get. And I'm not saying that's bad. A lot of people like that. It's more flexible. But I like.
So what time did you pick then? Is it like 7 or 9:30?
Oh no. For the set dining, it was 5:30. So 5 or 5:30, 5, and like 7 or 7:30 or something like that.
So you picked 5?
We chose 5 because the other one's too late for us. The show's already starting, so we went 5, which is a little early for us. I'd prefer, if I had the choice, I'd make it a little bit later. But I really do like having the same people, and also a lot of times with the my time dining, you just show up. So there could be when I've seen it in the past, sometimes long lines of people just like waiting for people to leave. Whereas if you've got, a set dining, your table's waiting for you. So there's no wait. You just walk right through, go right to your table, and you're good to go. Versus sitting in a line waiting for other people to go, so you get your chance. So I like the regular dining.
So I'm sorry, I got more questions here.
Okay.
So how many places were you port or tendered?
There were no tenders at all.
No tenders. Okay, so that's good because
yeah.
on a ship that size, you don't want to be tendered because then it takes forever.
Yes.
To get off and on.
No tenders needed. Just pulled into port, got off the ship.
Okay, and so easy off, easy on each time, or
easy off, easy on, no issues at all. Sometimes there could be lines. There weren't really any lines at all that we dealt with. Okay. So it worked out really, really well. Plus, it's such a large ship with tons of people. You would think that maybe it would get backed up. We had no issues at all.
And your kids are older, so are they just free to go wherever, or
like on the ship itself, or like? Once we go into a port, we have excursions booked.
Okay, but
so we all go do stuff.
I guess a day at sea, or you just like they're gone. And
a lot of times we'll have a breakfast with them, and then they'll go disappear, do their things, and they know that we have a set time for dinner. They can meet us in the room or meet us out. A lot of times we'll run into them during the day, but they're available they can do their own stuff. They've got the teen clubs there, or since it's all enclosed, we just let them go.
Because they're up to what, 17 and 15 or something?
17 and 14.
Okay.
17 and 14. They do their things now, and they always meet friends there, and sometimes like meeting for dinner, they'll be like, oh, I got a dinner plan. Can I go have dinner with my friends instead? We're all gonna do this. It's like, go ahead, have a good time. Sometimes they'll meet up with us and we'll do a show or something we've got booked already. But yeah, they've got free roam of the ship and they can do what they want. And they meet friends and they have a really good time.
And then do you guys do the walk off at the end in the early morning, or do you guys do a set time for when you're getting off, or how?
Normally we keep our bags with us and just we can leave when we want. Reason we keep our bags is several times we've put them out overnight and then they take them for you and then you go pick them up. One time when we went to do that, somebody had taken our bag. And we were driving back home, and luckily we got a call right before we hit Orlando International, the airport. And they're like, oh, we have your bag here. Somebody accidentally took it. So it's here at the Royal Caribbean desk. By any chance, do you happen to have their bag? Like, no. No, we didn't steal somebody else's bag.
By any
chance, do you have their bag?
I was not expecting that.
No, we were smart enough not to steal somebody else's bag. We were just, missing one. But yes, so since that instance, we always keep our bags in our room with us. We don't want to leave them out for them.
But you don't have to walk off first thing in the morning?
No. Normally,
because whenever, I guess I didn't know, because it's been a while, but if you're walking off with your own luggage, it always had to be like first thing.
I guess, yeah, they recommend it, but it's not really enforced, or they don't really care.
Gotcha.
I think they gave us a time that we're supposed to be off, but it's not.
What time did you guys get off?
We ended up getting off a little bit later.
Like 10:30 or?
Not that late. I think you have to be off. They need you off by like 9 or so, I think. And we got off like right before then.
Okay.
But yeah.
So let me ask you this, I guess, is there any drawbacks to this I'm guessing 4,000 passengers, any drawbacks at all? Or no?
It's close to 7,000 passengers.
7,000?
7,000 passengers.
So you're saying really. No drawbacks, really?
It's a big ship. You never really feel too crowded, but barely at all ever. The worst times is sometimes elevators. A lot of times during specific busy times, you can be waiting for an elevator will show up and it opens up and it's full already. So you're like, wait for the next one. We did more walking than we normally do, going up and down the stairs a bit because the elevators sometimes were a little more full, but I mean, it never feels really overcrowded. I love having a big ship to walk around. Took advantage of the walking track a couple times. Walking track was busier than I've seen on any ship before. But I mean, overall, I really enjoy the ship. It's a really, really nice ship. I like the options. I like some people like smaller ships. I like this.
I like smaller ships.
I like having lots of different things to do and to be able to sit there and at nighttime, walk out, whether you're on the boardwalk or the Central Park area, and be able to see the sky while there's shops around you and you're in different levels. I mean, it's really nice to have that openness.
And are you a person that likes the ports better or the day at sea better?
Normally ports.
Ports. Okay.
I like checking out different countries and doing things. The days at sea, sometimes I get a little bored. But
plus, I mean, I would think that the days at sea, I would think that you know that there's 7,000 people there versus the day,
That's true, yes.
How many days at sea did you have?
I guess there were 4 days at sea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's only 3 stops on this one because it takes a while to get to first stop is St. Martin. It's considered Southern Caribbean, so it takes a little. Normally they go to like
2 days
Eastern
at
or
sea
Western.
to start?
It starts 2 days at sea, so it takes a while to get down there. So only three stops.
What kind of excursions did you do? I'm going to
killing me here, man. What's it called? In St. Martin, we did like a small tour. Took us to a beach where we did a special like jet skiing thing. So we did jet skiing for a while. And beautiful. St. Martin's beautiful beach like private beach in St. Martin. And in St. Thomas, we went over to St. John and did like a little private like bus tour type thing, like an open air bus that takes you around and shows you different places that we stopped, and did some shopping and stuff as well. Because again, we've been to St. Thomas a couple times. Most of the places take you to what's the beach? Megan's Bay. I beat it to it. Megan's Bay, which is it's a very.
I love Megan's Bay.
I went to Megan's Bay many years ago, and it was beautiful, beautiful beach, and there's like not a lot of people around. Now it's super touristy. All the cruise ships go there. So last time I went to Megan's Bay, is one of those things that you walk up and there's blankets everywhere, and you're just trying to find somewhere to squeeze in a blanket. So sometimes you're this close to somebody next to you that you don't even know because there's literally it's packed. So
and people can book this to you, right? Because you're a travel agent.
Absolutely, we can.
I forgot to mention that.
Yep. We can pretty much book all cruise lines right now. We've been set up. Include extra stuff, including like Virgin, Princess, Holland.
Is that something they'd have to email you directly, or how would they do that?
They can email me directly at Scott, SCOTT, at DVC-Rental.com. But we could take care of any cruise line right now and get you on a great vacation. But I love Wonder of the Seas. Great ship. Enjoy Royal Caribbean. I'm looking forward to more.
Nice. All right, we'll see you next week.
Thanks so much for watching. Again, check out all of our social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, especially Facebook. Join our Facebook group, Disney Vacation Club Resales DVC, and hope to see you guys online.